Hey guys, Larissa Morales here. A lot of you from the Freedom Fighters Network have been wondering how to export your contacts from sMod, your autoresponder system. Currently, there is not a way to do this directly in sMod. However, I found a roundabout way of doing so using some copying and pasting skills and some very basic Excel skills. The first thing that you want to do is log into your sMod account. And then over here to the left, there is a list icon. If you drop down, you can scroll down to your contacts. In this section, you will be able to find all of the contacts in your list. If I scroll all the way down, you'll see that I have 18 pages of contacts. For time's sake, I'm only going to go through a few of these pages to show you exactly how to get the job done. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to copy or highlight all of my contacts on this first page. And note, I am stopping right here and not highlighting all the way to the end because for some reason Excel does not like that and it makes it a little bit funky on Excel. So be sure to stop right here in your highlighting and right click and copy. Another method is on your keyboard to click Control and the C button at the same time, and this will do the same thing. So I'm going to copy my contacts. I'm going to open an Excel file. And in this very first cell, A1, I'm going to paste. So I'm going to right click and I am going to paste, but I'm going to match the destination formatting. This way, it'll remove all of the hyperlinks from the email addresses. And then I'm going to go back to sMod and I am going to go to my next page. So again, I am going to highlight all of my contacts, stop right here, I'm going to copy, go to my Excel spreadsheet, I'm going to scroll to the next available cell. Here, I'm going to paste again, my paste, and match the destination formatting. All right, now, I could go through all 18 pages of my contacts, but I'm not going to bore you with that. So let's just take this last page and say I went through all of them. Again, I'm going to copy, go to my Excel spreadsheet, paste, match the destination formatting, and there we go. 18 pages. Once you've pasted your last set of contacts, you no longer need to refer to the sMod system. You just need to stay here within Excel and do this last bit of formatting. The first thing I'll have you do here in Excel is delete columns B and C. Simply click on column B and then hold the Shift button down and click column C. And this highlights both columns B and C for you, allowing you to right click and delete those two columns. They aren't necessary for this purpose, so we are just going to delete them. Now, I do want you to take a look at column A. As you can see, for some reason, sMod gives you the email address 3 times if you have a lead, or the first and last name if you have a member. So in order to make these email addresses usable for whatever reason why you want to export your contacts, we need to do some basic formatting. What I'm going to have you do is highlight column A and then click on the Data tab. From here, you want to click on Text to Columns. This will allow you to separate your email addresses into separate columns. You are going to want to keep the default settings in this first step as delimited. So you want to click on Next, and then you're going to change tab to space. That changes the delimiter. What this basically means is, since there's a space between each email address, it'll separate the email addresses or the text into separate columns. From here, you can click on Next and then Finish. So, voila! Now your email addresses are separated. Column D is probably the best place to get a list of all of your email addresses. You know, you could look at column A or column B and say, hey, these are email addresses, why can't I use those? Well, the reason is because sMod separates leads and members. Leads only consist of email addresses, hence why it shows up 3 times, 1, 2, 3, in their system, and by first and last name for members. So in this case, I have a first name, a last name, and an email address. So column D contains all of the email addresses in the format that you wanted, and you can safely take column D and import that into wherever you want to import your exported file. But if for some reason, and this is something that I would probably do, is I would separate the leads from the members. So in order to do this, this does take a little bit of Excel knowledge, but hey, it's really easy. So what I'm going to do is, since I know that members have names and leads have email addresses found in column A, I'm going to sort my column A by names. So the easiest way to do this is in this in the Home tab, if you click on Conditional Formatting, highlight cells, and click on this button that says Text Contains, I can search for all of the cells that contain an @ sign. This would mean that it contained an email address. So I'm going to highlight all of these cells in red so I can distinguish which ones are leads and which ones are members. From here, I'm going to sort column A. So I highlight column A, and then I click on this Sort and Filter button. I'm going to custom sort, and I'm going to click on Sort and expand the selection. And I'm going to sort by column A. I'm going to change this default value to cell color, and I want all my members up top. So I'm going to leave this with the value of no cell color, and it's going to move all of those to the top of my Excel spreadsheet. So there we go. I have all of my members up top, and then all of my leads on the bottom. What you can do to be more organized is just delete column C, because those are just dashes, and if you want to keep everything uniform, you can select all of the email addresses found in column A and column B for your leads and delete those. This way, column C is the only section that has email addresses. From here, you can do whatever you want with your email addresses that you manually exported from sMod.